An open letter, the gospel according to Paint Chip, Daddy's little filing disaster. Well, dear Paint Chip, congratulations. You've managed to file something so catastrophically stupid it deserves its own section in legal comedy textbook. Every time the court docket refreshes and your name appears, angels weep, paralegals groan, and the judge's clerks start a betting pool on how many crayons it took you to draft your latest masterpiece. You didn't just trip over the law this time, you swan dived into it headfirst, waving a flag that said, "Look, Ma, no logic." The moment you decided to throw your own father under the bus, you graduated from ordinary bad faith litigant to full-blown Greek tragedy protagonist, minus the poetry, and plus a very heavy criminal record. See, most people file motions to defend themselves. You, on the other hand, treat filings like confessional therapy. Every page screams, "Please validate my victim complex while I re-traumatize the English language." It's a public service announced on what happens when narcissism meets Microsoft Word. And what did Daddy ever do besides spend half his life cleaning up the messes you left between lawsuits? Yet, here you are, driving the short bus, checking the mirrors, and backing over him twice just for good measure. If loyalty were a stock, you'd short it out during your own birthday party. You always have been allergic to accountability. Well, the minute reality taps you on the shoulder, you break out in accusations. When the evidence piles up, you yell conspiracy. When that doesn't work, you discover a brand new legal theory that exists only in your fucking head and possibly on Reddit somewhere. In those legal filings is a paragraph that reads like an exorcism performed by someone who failed just simple paralegal school. The funniest part, you actually think the court can't tell the difference between arguments and emotional leakage. Your pleadings don't cite precedent, they cite trauma. Every wherefore clause might as well end up with it because you're little fifis. If whining were a cause of action, you'd be a Supreme Court precedent. Let's talk substance, if we can call it that. You accuse everyone else of the things that you do before breakfast because projection isn't just your hobby, it's your cardio. Every time you type malicious, a mirror somewhere cracks out in pity. You can't decide whether you're a victim, a whistleblower, or a second coming of Perry Mason, so you blend all three into a smoothie of self-pity and delusion. And that, of course, brings us to your current magnum opus. Magnum opus, not to be confused with Magnum condoms, as I don't think, I mean, they do have some, what do they call those? They call them finger gloves, you know, where you put them over your finger to stop the bleeding. Legally wrong, check factually bankrupt, and double check morally inverted. Buddy, you went full Kama Sutra with wrongness, twisted in ways that defy physics and ethics alike. Well, you didn't just miss the mark, you built an entire amusement park around it and charged admission, and then swan dived off the top of it just for fun. Now, the anti-what-the-hells crowd must be so proud of you, because every time one of you idiots lights yourself on fire, the rest hold a candlelight vigil for your last brain cell. They call it solidarity. I call it a group discount on embarrassment and stupidity. The same geniuses who scream about free speech now file tantrums dressed as motions, begging the court to silence everyone who points out their own stupidity. And it's not a conspiracy, it's a talent show for the terminally self-important morons. You, Paint Chip, are their mascot, proof that ignorance, when mixed with an ego and a Wi-Fi connection, becomes a renewable energy source. Because you've turned cowardice into performance art. And when the judge asks a question, you answer with a sob story. When cornered, you mumble about corruption. And when someone hands you evidence, you file a counter-accusation about bullying. The whole ecosystem runs on your ability to confuse humiliation with heroism. That and some greasy chicken wings and a pack a day. It would almost be sad if it weren't so funny. There's a special place in legal purgatory for people who think filing is a synonym for a Facebook post, and yet here you are trying to out-litigate a reality that you invented. Court doesn't need discovery. It needs a priest and a power washer. Do you even realize that you admitted to between the lines? That you're scared. You're a chicken shit. You're scared of exposure, scared of accountability, and most of all, scared that the mirror is correct. That's why you lash out at Daddy, the same way you lash out at everyone who remembers what you were before you discovered the thrill of pretending to be a victim online, because betrayal isn't just your reflex, it's your brand. And meanwhile, the rest of the Anti-WTH cult is clapping like a bunch of trained seals, mistaking your implosion for strategy. They'll upload streams titled Legal Victory 5 minutes before the judge issues an order that could be summarized as sit down and shut the hell up. They don't read the rulings, they read the comment sections. They call it activism. Well, the court, they call it contempt. Watching your side argue law is like watching raccoons to attempt algebra. Lots of noise, zero comprehension, occasional theft. Their filings are so off base, they should come with a Major League Baseball logo. Every sentence is a swing and a miss, followed by an appeal to an imaginary authority. You even managed to cite yourself as if repetition might eventually make it true. And through it all, you keep that same wide-eyed innocence like the kid who swears the dog ate his homework while holding the crumbs. Except in your case, the dog's name is Daddy, and you just ran over him in your own affidavit and then hooked his leash up to your bumper and went for a ride. Here's the cosmic irony in all of this. For all your scheming, you've done more to prove the plaintiff's case than any discovery request ever could. Every rant, every filing, every unhinged live stream that you morons do becomes just another exhibit in a museum of your own downfall. You're not being silenced, you're being quoted verbatim. That there's no need to defame you. You're writing the defamation yourself and mailing it to the court with tracking. If the Anti-WTH system, a little movement there had a mission statement, would be, we misunderstood the assignment. And you were supposed to defend yourselves. Instead, you've turned into prosecution's best witnesses. Each one is racing out to dumb the other one in public view. Paint Chip, you are their gold standard. A cautionary tale in perpetual motion. By now, the clerks must have a bingo card, mentions conspiracy, forgets jurisdiction, files under the wrong rule, blames family member. Congratulations, you just completed the row. Prize, lifetime membership in the Hall of Stupidity. And still, you'll go live tonight. I'm pretty sure of this. You'll be puffing out your chest. Not hard to do. Calling everyone haters, promising that the truth will come out. But already did, pal. It's just not on your side. Truth showed up with 3 filings ago, packed its bags, and left you arguing with a reflection that keeps filing supplements. Maybe someday, definitely not today, you'll realize that law isn't theater and the courtroom isn't your comment section. Until then, just keep on performing. The audience is laughing for all the wrong reasons, but laughing nonetheless. You've become content, Paint Chip. Not a contender, not a crusader, just content. Here's my sincere legal advice, free of charge. Before you file again, try something radical. Read the rules. Read the law. Hell, read a fucking book that doesn't start with how to manipulate, because at this point, every motion you submit isn't helping your case. It's building the plaintiff's documentary series. And when it's all over, when the sanctions drop, when Daddy stops returning your calls, when your own supporters quietly unsubscribe, you'll finally understand that cowardice is the most expensive luxury of all. Until then, keep lighting matches in a paper house and calling it strategy. The rest of us, well, we'll keep the fire extinguishers happy and the popcorn fresh. With all the love of a man in Velcro shoes can muster, Shizzywhiznut, Chief Executive Officer of Shortbus Legal Strategies, LLC, Department of Window Licking Affairs, Purveyor of Fine Crayons, and Federal Court Reality Checks. And damn, so glad that I am not your daddy, because I would have put that